Hello out there. It's first thing in the morning, and this is not the first time I've showed up here in my pajamas, and it won't be the last time. I'm Amy. This is Art Conspiracy. This is Working Through the Ugly Phase, Part 2. After I wrapped up the video yesterday, I kept working on my artwork, and sometimes a piece will haunt you. It will, and you just have to keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. So anyway, let me show you what I did. Pretty interesting. So here on the right is the original watercolor. And if you watch the first video, you'll see how I worked on a lot of this. Anyway, here's where I am kind of right now. And so I have done so many things, it's hard to even tell you what all has transpired. The lesson is don't settle. The lesson is keep at it and move heaven and earth to fix something if you know that it's wrong. If you care, sometimes you don't care. You're done with the piece and you want to throw it in the trash can, whatever. But if you want to try to fix it, as I said yesterday, if there's breath in your body and your paper holds out, just keep going. Let me show you a couple particulars. I'm very proud of this little girl. She has been through hell and back. Here she is now on the right. This is her present state of affairs. I think she's looking pretty good. She looks much better than she did before. Here's the other little girl, which interestingly enough, and completely by accident, she now seems to have a bird on her head. I don't know. That just happened. Anyway, so I'm going with it. I'm going with it. I think I might add a little eye, just the eye of the bird, just so that it's actually, yeah, and maybe a little tiny shadow right here. So there's going to be a bird sitting on her face. But the other thing I want to point out too is like this information. I was playing with the information in her face, putting stuff on, taking stuff off, putting stuff on, taking stuff off, and I think I like what's there. It's abstract, it's kind of rough, but it has an expression, it has a feeling. And I don't think she needs anything more. I don't think she needs an iris or eyelashes or anything like that. So I might just leave her. But again, I also might very well change my mind. So here's where I am, and here's what I want to do. Grandmom is now floating. Her dress was all the way down to the floor, and I made it shorter. And her dress is, she's up floating, levitating. So is her little girl here, a little grandchild. So I'm going to figure out what to do down here. I'm also going to, this is so funny, such a stupid little particular, but the curler, I'm going to make one of these curlers frontal. I also choose sort of 3/4 view, and I'm going to change her whole face so that she's looking straight on. So they're all looking straight on, like that family photo, the stiff family photo. So those are the main things that I'm going to change, and we'll see what happens. That the thing to remember is the whole must be greater than the sum of the parts. You might want to write that down. This is pretty profound, but it's true. You can be, when you're in this phase, sometimes you're working on particular parts, and you may love one little part, but it doesn't work in the whole. So you have to get rid of it, or you have to sacrifice it. So it's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, let me get to it. I don't know how it's going to go. It's first thing in the morning, and I woke up thinking I got to work on this. So I'm sharing it with you as usual. Stand by. Okay, so I just wanted to share this too. I softened this background. I just used straight Chinese white, which is kind of a transparent white. So you can still see the color underneath of it. It's just softened everything. And you can use it to make corrections or just create effects, and then you can paint on top of it if you want to. So I wasn't sure what I'm going to do with grounding Grandmom. I thought I wanted to have her feet like way back here in the darkness tucked away, but I'm not sure where they're going to be. So I actually cut out 2 little pieces of paper, and I'm playing, moving them around, trying to decide where I want Grandmom's feet. So sometimes you do things like that. And also I made a couple strips of paper thinking if I were going to have a chair, like chair legs, where might they show up and how that would look. And, maybe at the top of the chair shows up back here. So these are little devices that can help you figure something out maybe before you commit to coming in here. I'm going to change the one curler. I'm going to make that straighter. Little tiny details. And again, I'm going to turn her face around. Oh, and I also changed the shoes down here. I'm going to try to make them black patent leather looking shoes. And again, these are tiny little details that maybe no one will even notice once I do them, but it's really fun to feel like you can make changes. And at this point, we're way past working through the ugly phase. This is more like working with small parts and being emboldened to keep changing things as long as you're not totally satisfied. So I'm going to get to it and I'll let you know how it goes. Hold on, stand by. Okay, I got really tight down here to try to show you how I might make this correction. I redrew the line of her face and I put the new nose in. I'm trying to make her look straightforward. And now I'm going to take my white marker and I'm going to literally just get rid of most of the original face. So I threw down the gauntlet where I wanted the correction. And then I just softened the old information. I'm also going to, as I said, turn this curler in a more frontal configuration. You see that? As curlers often are. I just kind of simplified and made them all circles, but I don't think that's quite right. And I'm going to, again, hide my correction with that. Look at that. Not only does she have pink curlers, but she has pink hair at this point, which I could change. So then, now, I'm not sure what's going to happen with my marker. But I'm going to just go in with a little dark where I want her new eye to be. And just again, just play with the information and just have enough. It may be I don't need very much to win the day here. There's a little pink. I'm making that new mouth. Oh, she looks like she's smiling. When you're working this small, the tiniest little mark makes a huge difference. So sometimes you have to take several runs at it. And again, I put in one eye. I'm not going to put in the second eye. I ain't going to do it. You can't make me. I put a little darker in the corners of her mouth. Okay, now let's say I want to make her hair so that she doesn't look like she has pink hair. And just the rollers are pink. So I'm going to darken that hair that's going around the rollers. That makes a little bit more sense. There. That's totally good. Okay, I'm worried about Grandmom's chair. I'm drawing the curlers up here and I'm thinking about what's going on down below, which is very typical. I also want to add a little blue over here. I'm going to do it with pencil right now. There's just an extra sort of light line next to his face. There, I did it with pencil. Maybe I call it good. I want to soften this line. Now, I've introduced pencil into my sketch, into my drawing, so maybe I'll put it somewhere else and incorporate it so it doesn't look odd. That's a review of yesterday. When you make a correction and you do something that isn't happening other places, just put it somewhere else. And then it looks purposeful. Okay, good. And again, I can increase the value. Oh, I didn't want that quite so dark. That's okay. You take my purple pencil, try to soften it. You can always get the Pitt pen. That kind of overrides everything. There we go. Okay, let me pull back out, be right back. Getting it done, getting it done. I just wanted to share with you one other correction, just to give you an idea. I made this a little bit smaller over here. I'm going to take a dark blue and I'm going to throw down the gauntlet. That's the correction. So I'm going to get rid of all that other background. You see there? Pretty dark. So I make my marks sort of go out. Maybe I put it somewhere else too. Maybe I'll just make her shoulder pop out a little bit more while I'm here. There we go. I just sort of smeared it a little. And then I can take, this is a white colored pencil, but you can also use a blue. And I'm going to soften this and make it look like it belongs. Now, it's still kind of dark, but I can put some more over here. Yeah, why don't I do that? Watch this. I'll put some over here. Same thing. Smear it up. This is an example of, making my correction, incorporating that correction into the composition. Okay, so now you don't notice this at all because now you have some over here. This is a really great tip I just gave you. Okay, we're getting really close. I also did the patent leather shoes. Patent leather shoes, the whole key is the little shine. And one of her little feet are showing up over here. I still haven't figured out grandmom's situation. She's still floating. So I'll let you know how that turns out. Again, I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. I've been to hell and back several times on your behalf. But as my son used to say when he was a little boy at dinner, he'd say, "Can I be done now?" So I'm going to be done now. There's, always something that, you can tweak further, but sometimes you just got to leave it in an interesting place. I'm very happy with the group. I'm going to put it up on the screen and just leave it there for a couple seconds so you can look at it at your leisure. I did the work on the little bird, made it look a little bit more like a bird. I didn't put grandmom's feet in, but I did some stuff to the floor. And I think it's fine that she's kind of still floating or whatever. I think if I hadn't said anything, you wouldn't notice. So anyway, you be the judge. But I'm happy with what I did, and I'm very happy to share my crazy convoluted process with you. And yeah, I'd be done now. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. You stay safe out there. Amy@artconspiracy.net. And here it comes. Check it out. There it is. The family gathering. Even now I'm looking thinking, I could, I'm not going there. Okay. You guys take care. Till next time. Bye.